Okay. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Sundara Vigraha Meghashyam Ganga Tulasi Salagram. Sundara Vigraha Meghashyam Ganga Tulasi Salagram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Bhadragirishwara Sita Ram. Bhagata Jana Priya Sita Ram. Bhadragirishwara Sita Ram. Bhagata Jana Priya Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Janaki Ramana Sita Ram. Jaya Jaya Raghava Sita Ram. Janaki Ramana Sita Ram. Jaya Jaya Raghava Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Raja Ram Jaya Raja Ram Jaya Jaya Raghava Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Okay, now let's go to chapter 3, verse 13 and 14.
Auntie, what about the prayer?
Oh, yes. Can we do prayer? Hebita, go ahead and do the prayer. Okay. Thank you.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Shakshul Uminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Hemita. Okay, now let's go to the awesome. So we have the verses in this page. That's good. So you can repeat after me. Today we are doing 13th verse. And maybe Shriyan, you can repeat after me. Yagnashishta santo. Okay, somebody has to mute except for Shriyan. Yagnashishta santo. Muchyante sarvakil bishay. Bhunjate te tvagham papa. Bhunjate te tvagham papa. Tvagham. Bhunjate te tvagham papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. So let's do the last word, last line, pachantyatma. It's not pachanti atma. We should do pachantyatma. So it's going to be yatma. Pachantyatma. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Good job. It's yagna.
Sishtashinaha Santo.
Muchyante, it's cha, it's not kya, it's muchyante.
Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay. Bhunjate te Tvagham Papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Yagnasistashinaha Santo. Yagnasistashinaha Santo. Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay. Bhunjate te Tvagham Papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Yagnasistashinaha Santo. Muchyante Sarvakil Visay. Bhunjate te Tvagham Papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Yagnasistashina Santo. Muchyante Sarvakil Visay. Bhunjate te Tvagham Papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Yagnasistashina Santo. Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay. Bhunjate te Tvagham Papa. Ye pachantyatmakaranat. Yagnasistashina Santo. मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषै
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषै
भुञ्जाते ते त्वगं पापा
भुञ्जाते ते त्विगां पापा
ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात्
ये पचान्त्यत्मकारणात् यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो
Yagnasista Santa
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषै
Mutyante Sarvakil Vishe
भुञ्जाते ते त्वगं पापा
Bhunjate Te Tvagam Papa
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat Yagnasista Sina Santo
Yagnasista Santo
Mutyante Sarvakil Vishe
Mukya Sante Sarvakilbise.
Hold on. Say that second line again. Whoever repeated.
Mukyante
Not
Sarvakilbise.
Mukyante. It's not Mukyante. What did we say it is? You have to turn on your camera, Satvika and Jyoti, both of you. See, if you listen attentively, then you will not have this issue. It's Muchyante.
Mucyante Sarvakilbise.
Bhunjate Te Tvagam Papa
Bujyatan te tve agam papa.
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat
Ye pacantat makaranat. Yagna sistasa sano santo.
Yagnasastana Yagnasastana Santo
What? Can you read again?
Yagnasastan Sina Santo
Shishta. All the sas in this are shas. Okay. Yagna Shishta Shina Santo.
Yagnashista Shina Santo
Okay.
Mucyante Sarvakilbise.
Muchyante Sarvakilbishai
Banjate te
Bhunjate.
tvagam.
It's not
Bujante
Bhanjate, it's
tve.
Bhunjate.
Okay. Bunjate te tvagam papa.
Bunjate Te Tvagam Papa
Ye pacantai atmakarna.
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat Yagnashista Shina Santo
Yagnashistanas Santo
Muchyante Sarva Kilbishai
Bhujyante Sarvakil Vishe
Munjate Te Tvagam Papa
Bhujyate Te Tvagam Papa
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat Yagnashista Sanantanto
Yagnashita Shina Santo
Mutyante Sarvakil Vishe
Muciante Sarvakil Bishai
Bhunjante Te Tvagam Papa
Bunjate Te Twagam Papa
Ye Pachanti Atmakaranat
Ye Pajat Yat Ma Karanat Yagnashista Shina Santo
Yagnashishta Santo
Santo.
Muciante Sarvakil Bishai
Mucyante Sarvakilbise.
Bunjate Te Twagam Papa
Bunjate te tvagam papa.
Ye Panchat Yatma Karanat
Ye pajantyatmakaranat. Yagna sistashina santo.
Yagnashishta Santo
Mucyante sarvakilbise.
Muchyante Sarvakilbishai
Bunjate te tvagam papa.
Bhunjite Te Tvagam Papa
Ye pajantyatmakaranat.
Ye Pachantatmakarana Yagnashishta Santo Yagnashishta Sinasanto Muchyante Sarvakilpishe Bunjate Te Tvagam Papa Ye Pachantatmakarana Yagnashishta Sinasanto.
Are you all done? Everyone done? Who was going last? Who went last?
Me.
Okay, so do you want to read and I'll repeat?
Okay. Yagnashishta Sinasanto
Yagnasishta santo
Muchyate Sarvakilpishe
muchyante sarvakilbishe
Bunjate Tvagam Papa
bhunjate te tvagham papa
Ye Pachanti Atma Karanat.
ye pachantyatma karanat. Okay, once I'll do the verse again because they're little tongue twisting words, and we'll do that and do the translation. Yagnashishta santo muchyante sarvakil vishehe bhunjate te tvagham papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Very important verse in terms of practical application for all of us, and also to when we tell others some things, they'll tell, oh, who told you to do this? Then we can refer to some authentic scriptures or some, what you call, when you write essays or when you write essays only, you give references, right? What is that called? You give references of some websites or some books or some research articles. What is the citations? You give citations, right? Is that right word, citation? Similarly, when applying Bhagavad Gita in our life and we tell, oh, you're not supposed to do that, or we're supposed to do this, then if people ask, how do you know that? Where is it told? Then you can cite Bhagavad Gita, right? And Bhagavad Gita is the authentic scripture because Lord Krishna has himself spoke to Arjuna and it has been documented by Vyasadeva, and therefore it is authentic. And here, what is Krishna saying? He's saying the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So what does Krishna say here? Krishna is saying that by way of our activity of eating food, we can actually release ourselves from all kinds of sins, from all kinds of papa, all kinds of bindings that bind us to this material world. You all know, right? There's good karma, there is bad karma. Good karma also binds us, bad karma also binds us. The only karma that doesn't bind us to this material world is akarma, and actually it is karma in Krishna consciousness that doesn't bind us at all. Just like if a spaceship has to go into the space, right? What is preventing it from going into the space, flying directly as it is into the space? What is there that it's being pulled by?
Gravity.
Gravity. And only when it becomes free from gravity, then it is free. It is not attracted and it's not bound anymore by earth. Correct? Similarly, all the souls in this material world are actually bound by a force which is similar to gravity that bounds the any object into this earth. What is that? Gravity. But what is that which is similar to gravity? That is karma, right? And if we want to go out of this pull of karma, then we have to perform all activities. Just like the spaceship, what does it do? It has enough gas in it. It burns enough fuel that it what you call pushes, it propels itself, right? You see all the what you call, how the gas comes out of the spaceship, you see, right? How it burns the fuel and propels itself into the outer sky. Similarly, we have to perform activities that clear us of all the sins. And Krishna is giving one important and very, very practical, because all of us eat, right? Everybody eats. There's nobody who can say, I don't eat. Cannot survive if we don't eat, right? And Krishna is saying how each one of us can purify ourselves by this act of eating. See, Krishna is giving us so detailed information. Initially, I mean, the previous verses, he told how we have to perform our work. How? We have to perform it as a sacrifice. Remember? And what are the points we learned from that verse? That whenever we do a puja at home, we do it very clean, very pure. We get the best ingredients. We clean ourselves well. We clean our home well. We clean our altar well. We get the best flowers, best fruit, best ingredients, best prasadam. We do all that. So every activity we do should be that clean in our consciousness too. And that's called performing activities as a yajna. And of course, we have to chant too, that we already learned. Remember, we talked about how everyone will do one mala of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How many of you attempted to do that? Awesome. I see Tristan, I see Ishi, Hemita, I see Satvika. Oh, almost all hands went up except Mihir and Jyotish. And Krish. Krish, did you do or no? I can't see your hand.
I did a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, I am proud of the honesty of the students who didn't raise their hands because they didn't do. But that's good. But I only asked, I didn't even ask how many of you did. What was my question?
You said how many of you attempted it?
Attempted. How many of you tried? So first step is to try. So sincerely try. Forget about whether you do it or not, but at least try. Did you plan? Did you think about it? Did you remember it? All these are different ways of attempting. If you don't even remember, if you don't even prioritize it, if you don't even think about it, if you don't even desire about it, then that is not at all trying. And when you don't try, there is no chance of it happening. Yes or no? What does it mean by trying? Trying means as soon as you listen, as soon as you heard last week, okay, this sounds like a good idea. Let me try. Let me plan my day. Just a thought in your mind. It's not even an action yet. Then next day comes and you think, oh, I thought yesterday I'm going to chant today. So let me see where I can fit in that chanting today. Again, just a thought, not even trying, not even doing, not an action yet. Then as the day passes, I thought I will do chanting. Maybe I will do after this homework. That's again a thought. Before going to bed, I thought about it this morning, but see, I did not plan well. So maybe I will do now. That's again a thought, not an action yet. And you were not able to do again because you were tired or you were not interested. The next day morning, you wake up and think, yesterday I did not do it because I didn't plan well, but today I will do it. I'm going to plan. I'm going to do this extra 10 minutes. I'm going to squeeze out of this. I'm going to cut down my playtime or my screen time or whatever, and I'm going to do. Again, a thought, not an action yet. All these thoughts are actually indications to Krishna that you are trying. And when Krishna sees us repeatedly trying in our mind, by repeatedly reminding ourselves, by repeatedly desiring, then Krishna will magically make it happen. So remember, you don't have to do anything. You just have to try. You just have to remember. You just have to think. You just have to wish. You just have to will. You just have to desire. How hard is it? Whatever I told now. Desiring, willing, wishing, thinking, remembering. Remembering might be hard if you don't even desire for it. Because Krishna says in 15th chapter, we all read 15th chapter yet or no? 15th chapter, 15th verse, Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto mattah smritir gnanam apohanam cha. I reside in everyone's heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Krishna gives us remembrance. Krishna gives us forgetfulness. Krishna gives us knowledge. Why and how? Krishna is residing in everyone's heart. We cannot trick or cheat Krishna. So if we have desired to chant, then Krishna is making a note of it. Hey, Tristan has desired to chant today. So let me remind him. If you didn't desire to chant, Tristan doesn't care about chanting, so I will not remind him. Krishna doesn't want us to do anything by force. Krishna wants us to do with our own desire, with our own will. Because when there is force, there is no love. You all know that, right? By experience, you can tell that if somebody forces something to do, you to do something, will you do it with fun or with enjoyment, or will you do it as if, I have to do this? How will you do it?
Like that, like you have to do it.
I have to do it. But if somebody says, this is good for you, beta, but you think about it, and if you do this, these are the consequences of it, and you decide, then what will you do? I have not forced, and therefore you will probably explore doing the right way. Yes or no? And this Bhagavad Gita is everything Krishna is telling us. These are the things you should be doing. If you do this, this is the thing. If you don't do this, this is the thing. This is how devotees are liberated. This is how people are bound to this material world. He's just giving us information here, never saying, do this. See how he's telling? The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. So what is the action and what is the consequence? And who is the subject and predicate? What is the subject and predicate here? Subject is devotees of the Lord. Is that right? I'm bad at English. Can you all help me? Right? So the subject of the sentence is devotees of the Lord. And what is happening to the devotees? What are the activities they do? What are the actions they should be doing? Offer food to the Lord. And what is the result of it? They get released from all kinds of sins. Right? Now, what is offering food to the Lord means? We have to understand, right? Because when we say offering food to the Lord, we have to do it, then we should understand what it means. What is it, Ishan?
Offering food to the Lord is not just is giving food. It's what before you even eat, you should give a little bit of your food to the gods to show it as a sacrifice.
Awesome. So let's think about the various steps that are there in offering the food to the Lord. Okay. First step again comes in the mind, in the consciousness only. It's not about your action. It's about your consciousness. First step. Right. So you're thinking, of course, you don't cook yet because you all are not old enough to be cooking. You might maximum be doing maybe a toast, or maybe what else can you all do? Maybe eat cereal by yourselves, but you don't cook, right? So let's come up with items that you manage to do yourself. So it could be a bread toast, or it could be cereal. So offer the milk. Take the milk in a cup, fresh off of the can. Put it in a separate cup dedicated for the Lord. All of you have temples at home, altars at home, or a place dedicated for God's pictures, deities' pictures, or you have deities there. Some dedicated space in your house. I'm sure everyone has. Yes or no? And I'm sure you all know where that space is. Don't tell me, oh, I think we have it, Andy. I don't know where it is. Don't tell me that. Do you all know where it is in your house? I'm sure all of you have some dedicated space for worship and to have the darshan or the view of your deities or the pictures at home. Yes or no? So take one cup which is not used by anyone till now. And then if it's not there, I'm sure you'll have something like that at home. Put milk in that, warm it up, bring it to a warmth that you are comfortable. You cannot keep it too hot or too cold. You have to just think, what is a comfortable warmth that Krishna can have, right? And then put that in a cup, take it to the deity. And if you have tulsi at home, it's always good to offer tulsi in that, because Krishna accepts food that is offered with tulsi. However, if you do not have, again, as I told, it's the intent, it's the desire, it's the consciousness that we have. So offer it to the Lord and tell few sentences in your own words. Hey, Krishna, can you please accept this milk so that I take the prasad that has been accepted by you, and I nourish my body with that mercy of yours. First of all, thank you for giving me this milk that I'm able to offer to you today. It could be fruit, it could be bread, it could be whatever. Right? And then just leave it there for a few minutes. If you're in a hurry, 5 minutes. If not, leave it for more than 5 minutes. Then after that, go take it, bring it back, and then eat your cereal. Cereal also, when you open the first time, maybe you can offer it. But usually it is preferable and it is suggested and it is cleaner to offer food that is cooked at home and eat that food only. But again, if we do not have the option, at least the thought in our mind Because sometimes we are eating food outside at a friend's place, or we are traveling and we have to eat outside because we can't carry food all the time. In those instances, what do? Offer the food mentally. Just close your eyes for a few seconds. Thank you, Krishna, for the food. And I'm offering to you first mentally. So you please accept it. And then I'm going to take it. Prasad. Prasadam is a Sanskrit word for the English word mercy. MERCY. Mercy means prasadam. That's a Sanskrit word. So whenever we offer things to Krishna, before offering, it's bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyable material. And enjoyable for whom? Not for us. It's for Krishna. So we are giving bhoga for his enjoyment. So we give it to Krishna. Before offering to Krishna, it is bhoga because it is for Krishna's enjoyment. And after we offer to Krishna, while we take it, it becomes bhoga transforms to what?
Prasad.
Prasadam. Yes, awesome. Remember all these Sanskrit words. I'm hoping you're noting them down. These are very important practical tips for us to get closer to Krishna, establish that connection with the Lord. So Krishna is saying, when we do that, what happens? Our sins are all eradicated. They're all released. We are all released. See how Krishna is, Prabhupada is using the word released. When is somebody released? When somebody is bound, only they're released, right? If they're not bound, where's the question of being released? So here it's saying muchyante. Muchyante means release. And sarva means all. Kilbishai means sins. I'm translating the verse in Sanskrit. Bhunjate te dvagam. Bhunjate means eats. One who eats for themselves, for their self-sense enjoyment. What happens to them? Since it is not offered to the Lord, it has not become mercy, and therefore it is full of sins. Why? Because whenever we eat food, we are cutting vegetables. Vegetables, plants have life. Yes or no? They also have life. Grains have life. And we're cooking, we're boiling, we're putting them in heat. So we're doing all these sort of processing that we're doing, which is actually hurting the living entities. But at the same time, we cannot be without eating. If you say, oh, auntie, since I'm going to hurt the grains and the plants and the flower and the seeds and the fruit and the vegetables, so I don't want to eat. No, that's not what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying you have to eat. And for that, you have to do the minimum of whatever you can for your living. So do that, but offer it to me. Then I will take care of all the sins, because the process is entailed with sins. But when you do it with my consciousness, when you do it as an offering to me, then I protect you from all the reactions of whatever come by way of doing that process. Same thing with all prescribed duties. Whenever we perform our prescribed duties, there are so many things that we might be doing that are hurting others. When we are walking also, so many germs are getting killed under our feet. When we are breathing, we are inhaling and exhaling, and so many germs are getting killed. Now, if we are saying that, oh, because I'm going to kill, I'll stop breathing, is it going to work? But Krishna says, when you offer yourself, your activities to me as an offering, then everything becomes a facility for you to improve yourself. Krishna is saying that. Clear here? Any questions? I thought Hemita had her hand up.
I did, but I think I answered it by myself. So
by yourself or how?
I realized after, because my question was after you've offered the food to the Lord, let's say wait 5 minutes or whatever, you can't just throw away that food. So what exactly would you do? Because what if you're using you offer a little bit of milk to the Lord, but you decide you want to keep that milk for there for a while, but then you take it out in the next day or something? What's the best thing to do after that?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat that again?
If you or offer a cup of milk or a fruit to the Lord, and you keep it there for maybe a few hours or a day, what's the best thing to do after that? Because it'll be a day old or whatever.
Why would you leave it there for over a day? The purpose you offered it is for you to consume it, right?
Yeah, so that's why I realized a few minutes after.
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, as even I growing up, what we do is we just offer some items to the Lord and we don't mix it up after 5 or 10 minutes. You don't bring it back and mix it up in the food, and we eat this food that is not offered and think that, oh, I offer already to Krishna, so I'm good, and that food is forgotten which is offered. But the best practice and the only way of doing is offer it for Krishna to eat first before even we eat, and after Krishna eats, bring it back and mix it up with the bowl of milk that you have to eat the cereal, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with any any curry you make, or rotis you make, or rice we make, whatever we make, put it in a plate, as if when you are going to eat, suppose your mom made a meal of rice, dal, chapati, and whatever items, right? 5-6 items, or 4-5 items. So all those items should go on a separate plate for Krishna first, and then offer it to Krishna as if he's going to really eat. It's not like I'm going to put how you eat in your plate. That's how it should be for him. The arrangement should be. And then after 5 minutes, bring back all those katoris, the cups and the plates and all, and put them back into your main containers, right? I mean, if we're not doing that, you don't have to make the drastic change in your home. Again, as I said, to the best of your capacity, what you can do, because what your mom and dad can do, you cannot control, right? But you can at least tell them, educate them, right? This is what we learned, mom, today in class, or dad. And this is given in Bhagavad Gita. If you want to refer to this chapter 3:13 verse, and Krishna is saying how we have to offer and eat. So maybe we should make some changes in our life. It's for our good, right? Ultimately, it's for the entire family's good. Yes or no? Okay. Any other questions on this verse?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yes.
So like say if you're say if you got like sick with the virus and like you need to, get rid of it, then what would you do if you like, yeah. I mean, like, since you're killing a ton of germs technically, then like what would you do to purify yourself?
That's a very good question. You have to, right? For example, if you have a bacterial infection or a wound on your body, then you put antibiotic or you take antibiotics and kill them, because there's a higher purpose here, right? If you let the wound or the virus survive just because you think, oh, if I kill the virus, I'm going to incur sin, then what is the ultimate goal? You're going to die, and I mean, not we're going to fall more sick, and we're going to really, I've used the word die because of COVID, because that was an extreme case. But we're going to fall sick and we'll not be able to perform our activities well. Yes or no? Ultimately, the goal is for us to have a facility in this material world so we live well in Krishna consciousness. Right? So that is an extreme case where we're thinking, oh, I'm going to kill the germs that infected me. That's an extreme case. If somebody is hurting you, it's for self-protection. You have to take care. Self-protection is a priority, whether it is a germ that's hurting you, it's a person that's hurting you. You can't tell that if a person is coming and beating you, oh, if I beat him back or if I try to protect myself, then it's going to be hurting him, so I'll let him beat me. Will you do that? When we don't do that, we do it because it is in a devotee's responsibility is to take good care of himself. That is number one priority, because only when he takes good care of himself in terms of physical well-being and mental well-being, only then he is able to serve the Lord. Without he being mentally and physically well, where is the question of he being able to serve the Lord or perform his prescribed duties? And that's exactly what Pandavas were doing, right? They were waging that war. It's an expensive thing. That war is not like, oh, it's just a playful thing, right? It's going to cost so many lives there. And Krishna is standing there asking Arjuna, encouraging him to fight. I mean, if it was going to be sin, why would Krishna tell him to fight? Forget about the germs and the virus that you're talking. We're talking about people and lives here. So many animals, so many people lost their lives in that battle. The lot of lives were lost. Why? Again, for performing our prescribed duties, if it means, for example, two countries fight in the war, in the borders, if the army person thinks, oh, if I kill, if the opponent country, opposite country is occupying and entering our crossing the borders and coming to harm our country, if our army men think, no, I'll let him do it, because if I hurt him, it's going to be sinful, then he's not doing his prescribed duty. His prescribed duty is to protect the country. And your prescribed duty as a human being is take care of your physical well-being and mental well-being before even you think about studying well and doing Krishna consciousness. Those are the prerequisites. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being are the basic fundamental. The responsible person does that. That is the first prescribed duty of every living human being. Okay? Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, Shravan, you can repeat after me. Okay. Annad bhavanti bhutani
Bhavanti bhutani
parjanyadanna sambhavaha
parjanyat anna sambhavaha
yagnad bhavati parjanyo
yagnat bhavati parjanyo
yagna karma samudbhavaha
yagna karma samudbhavaha annat bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
parjanyat anna sambhavaha
parjanyadanna sambhava
yagnat bhavanti parjanyo
yagnad bhavati parjanyo
yagnaha karma samudbhavaha
yagna karma samudbhava annad bhavanti bhutani
Annat bhavanti bhutani
parjanyadanna sambhava
parjanyadana sambhava
yajnad bhavati parjanyo
Yajnat bhavati parjanyo
yagna karma samudbhava
yajna karma samudbhava annat bhavanti bhutani
Annat bhavati bhutani
parjanyadanna sambhava
parjanyadana sambhavaha
yajnat bhavati parjanyo
Yajna bhavati parjanyo
yajna karma samudbhava
yajna karma samudbhavaha annat bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavati bhutani
parjanyadanna sambhavaha
Ajnad ana sambhavaha
yajna bhavati parjanyo
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo
yajna karma samudbhavaha
Yagna karma samudbhavaha Annad bhavati bhutani
Annat bhavanti bhutani
Pragnad ana sambhavaha
parjanyat sarna sambhavaha
Agnad bhavati parjanyo
yagnat bhavati parjanyo
Yagnat karma Yagna karma sambhaha
yagnaha yagnaha karma samudbhavaha annat bhavati bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
parjanyadana sambhavaha
parjanyadana sambhavaha
yagnat bhavati parjanyo
yagnad bhavati parjanyo
yagnaha karma samudbhavaha
yagna karma samudbhavaya anadva bhavati bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
parjanyadana sambhavaha
Paryanjat anasambhavaha
Parjanyad. Can you repeat that again?
parjanyadana sambhavaha
Whoever is repeating after you.
Parjanyat anasambhavaha
yagnad bhavati parjanyo
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo
yagna karma samudbhavaha
Yagna karma samudbhavaha Annad bhavanti bhutani
annat bhavanti bhutani
Parjanyat anasambhavaha
parjanyadana sambhava
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo
yagnat bhavati parjanyo
Yagna karma samudbhavaha
yagna karma samudbhava annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyadana sambhava Yajnat bhavati parjanyo. Yagnaha karma samudbhava.
Okay, can't hear. Who's repeating? Can you all hear?
I could barely hear someone repeating.
Who was repeating? Who was leading first of all?
Me.
Krish. Okay, and who was repeating?
I think Ishi was repeating.
Were you repeating, Ishi? Can't hear you, Ishi. Yes, can you speak again?
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnaha karma samudbhavaha.
Yagnaha karma samudbhavaha. Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnaha karma samudbhavaha.
Yagnaha karma samudbhavaha. Annat bhavati bhutani.
Anat bhavati bhutani.
Parjanyad anna samudbhavaha.
Pajaniyat anasambhavaha.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagna bhavati parjanyo.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha. Anat bhavati bhutani.
Is everyone done?
Annat bhavati.
bhutani.
Who was repeating?
It was like me and this another person, auntie.
Okay, so one of you follow. Repeat after. Go ahead, Tristan.
Anat bhavati bhutani.
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Parjaniyat anasambhavaha.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha.
Yagna karma sambhutbhavaha. Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Yagnat bhavanti parjanyo.
Yagna bhavanti parjanyo.
Yagna karma sambhutbhavaha.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha. Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyad anna sambhavaha.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha.
Yagna bhavati parjanyo.
Yagnat bhavati parjanyo.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha.
Yagna karma samudbhavaha. Translation, Krishna is saying, all living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagna, and yagna is born of prescribed duties. Very simple and self-explanatory, right? Anyone can help me repeat or tell in your own words what Krishna is telling in this verse.
This is basically like a continuation of the 3.13 verse. So it's saying it says all living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. So what this is saying is that, and then the rains are produced by performance of yajna. So basically, if you perform yajna, then demigods will provide to you the food grains. It's basically like it's like a continuation of the 13.11 and 12 verses.
Awesome. Good job, Preet. So it's all tying together here, 11 and 12, where Krishna tells about how we have to reciprocate with the demigods, and when we perform our prescribed duties and sacrifices. I mean, prescribed duties and sacrifices should be together. It's not like, oh, sacrifice is different from prescribed duties. When we do our prescribed duties the way they were supposed to be done, which have been amalgamated with doing the rituals that we need to do. So prescribed duty for every human being is, as soon as he wake up, he thanks the sun god, he thanks Mother Earth. He offers, I mean, in olden days, people used to go and do Sandhya Vandanam, early morning prayers to the Sun Lord. And then again in the evening, Sandhya Vandanam, they would go to on the banks of river or what, I mean, they used to go to places where water bodies there and take some water out of there and offer. So every activity before eating food, they would recite prayers. Like there is one verse in chapter 15. What is that verse? Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Prani Nam Deham Ashitha Prana Prana Samayuktam Pachami Annam Chaturvidam. So that prayer says, you are the fire of digestion within each one of us. And when I eat the different types of, the 4 types of food, the food that is licked, food that is sucked, food that is chewed, and food that is drunk. So 4 types of food that we drink, we lick, we suck, and we chew. So these 4 types of food, when we take into our body, it doesn't digest by itself. There is fire of digestion in our body, which is actually none other than Lord Krishna. Krishna says, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. I am the fire of digestion within every living entity. And because of me, these 4 types of food get digested. And I remember my grandmother, before eating food, before the first bite that she would take, she would recite these prayers from Bhagavad Gita. I didn't know about Bhagavad Gita that time, but she would recite the prayer and then remember the Lord and then only take the first bite of food. So like that, all these rituals of connecting with the Lord were in every activity that we used to do. It's not like we do only for fest. Now what do? We do only celebrate festivals, and only during festivals probably we are told to do some things, right? It should be our daily practice, and it should be inculcated in every activity that we do. And that's what Krishna is saying. We all need food, and food cannot come. The grains cannot come without rain, right? Whatever industries we have, whatever factories we have, none of them can give us food if we don't have grains or vegetables or fruit. Yes or no? Even the fast food that we're talking about, or we think about all this packaged food and everything has to come from grains. Without grains, without fruit, without vegetables, none of the food that we eat, even animals cannot subsist without food grains or without those naturally coming out fruit and vegetables, right? So Krishna is saying all these come from rain, because without rain there is no grains. And how does rain come? Rain comes because of we performing sacrifices. And what is sacrifice? Krishna is telling karma samudbhava. That is called, karma means prescribed duties. So if we perform our prescribed duties well, everything falls in place for us. We don't have to do anything different. See what I'm saying? So any other points for you all, which you all can think of or add or comment or discuss? Okay, so if you do not have anything, then maybe we can do one bhajan for the next 4 minutes and then close the class. You can stop sharing. Anybody wants to do a bhajan? So Hemita, that rangoli on your screen, I mean on the back of you, is that a board behind you?
No, it's just a tapestry. So it's like a piece of like cotton, or like it's just like a sheet that you can like put up onto your wall.
Who did that?
We just bought it off Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's not handmade by y'all.
No, we just have to, it's like a piece of like cotton, I think, and then it's just on Amazon. It's like,
Seems very big. It's very big, right? It's like
yeah,
3 feet by 4 feet or something.
yeah.
It's very nice. Okay, what else? How is everything with middle school? Going good, or any tough subjects where we are having trouble with studying, hard subjects? Can you all share your experiences? Some of you are in 7th, some of you are in 8th grade, correct? How many of you are in 8th grade? 3, 4. How many of you? And the remaining are 7th. Okay. So how is it? Are you all excited about finishing your 8th and going to high school? Those 4 hands that were raised? No? Why?
That's because like high school is like I heard that it was like hard and you had to take like many AP classes and like honors.
Okay, so what do we do? So we know we have to go to 9th grade. It's not like we can avoid. We have to go, and we also know the information that it's going to be hard. So then what would an intelligent person do? He or she prepares himself to embrace what's coming their way, correct? So now that we know it's going to be hard, we know that there's going to be AP subjects. So what do? We try to plan our day well. We try to know more about what different types of APs are there, how to tackle, which year what APs to take. And then maybe first year I'll go a little slow. Then eventually second year of high school, maybe since I'll already been used to how it should be done, maybe I'll take more APs. Like that, planning, more contemplating, not worrying, but planning. Planning and worrying are not the same, right? A person who fails to plan is planning to fail. Does it make sense? So a person who fails to plan is planning to fail. So that means we all have to never fail to plan. So planning is important. What else? Just like Krishna consciousness also, right? We all know once we grow up, after childhood, you become adulthood, then you get the middle age, then you get the old age, and then with old age, I mean, if you take care of your health well, eat right food and all, you'll be healthy. But eventually, we all get sick and we get old, and then we think, oh, I'm scared, I'm worried about it. We should plan, right? We should plan, and the main planning that we have to make for all of us is how do we remember Krishna all the time, right? It's not going to happen, oh, I'll remember when I grow old, I don't have to worry about it now. It's not going to happen. Just like if you don't plan for your high school now, when you land into high school, you will be unprepared and you might not do as well as you plan ahead, right? Okay, I don't know how we spent 4 minutes. I thought it's just a few seconds ago, 9:26. It's already 9:30 now. Okay. We'll see you all next Saturday, same time, same place. Until then, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful weekend.
Hare Krishna.
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 Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you. Bye.